Why don't pirates like playing card games? So I'm gonna let you think about the answer to that, and if you'd like to hear the real answer, you'll have to hang tight and watch until the end of the video to hear what the answer is. Anyway, our joke for today kind of gave us a hint of what I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you how to play Solitaire. This is a really neat card game that you can play by yourself. So if you're ever looking for some time alone or something to do when there's just you at home, this is something that you can do, and all you need is a deck of cards. So I'm just going to show you a very easy version of Solitaire. There are definitely plenty of other versions out there, but this one will teach you the basics and will get you playing in no time. So why don't we get started? If you haven't played Solitaire before, it's a pretty easy goal to accomplish. The goal of this game is to line up all of your different suits, so diamonds, clubs, hearts, and spades, in numerical order. So from ace, number 1, all the way up to king. However, this is made a little bit difficult because all of your cards are mixed up together. So the first step for this game is to get your deck of cards and to shuffle it really well. If you have any jokers in the deck, you can go ahead and take those out. We won't be using them. So let's go ahead and shuffle our cards really well. After we've shuffled our cards, we're going to lay them out so we're ready to play the game. So there is a special layout for this game. You're going to take your deck of cards and you're going to lay out 7 rows of cards across your board. However, there's going to be a different number of cards in each column. So we're going to start with 1 card that's flipped up. So for the next row of cards, we're going to lay down 1 card and then flip 1 on top of it. The next row, we're going to lay down 2 cards and then flip up the 3rd one. So as you can see, there's kind of a pattern here. We're increasing the number of cards in our row by 1 and flipping up the top card. So in our next column, we should have 4 cards total, with the 4th one being flipped up. So we're going to do this and make 7 rows of cards. Alright, so once you have all 7 rows of cards, going from 1 card to 7 cards, you're going to take the rest of your deck and set it off to the side, and this will be your draw deck. So if you ever run out of moves, this is the deck you can draw a card from to try and change the course of the game. So, in order to start our game, we're going to first look and see if there are any aces on our cards that are turned over. If there is an ace, what we're going to do is pick it up and put it in its own separate pile at the top of the game. These will become the decks where we try to stack up our cards in numerical order, like I showed you in the beginning of the video. So as you can see, there are no aces on my board. So what I can do next is see if there are any cards I can move in order to turn over these cards. So in order to move a card to a different spot, it has to be a number that comes below the spot you're moving it to. So for example, I could move my 7 over here on to my 8 because 7 and 8 go together. So there's one other rule for when we move cards. So I can move my red 7 onto my black 8 because they're opposite colors. However, if I wanted to move my black 7 onto my black 8, that's not possible. So in order for a card to be laid on top of another card, they have to be opposite colors. So we're going to go ahead and move my red 7 onto my black 8. And we're going to flip over my card over here. I know it's a little hard to see, but I turned over a black 8. So that doesn't really help me, does it? So since I don't have any other moves I can do right now, I'm going to go to my draw pile and flip over one card. So I have a black 4. Take a look at my board. Is there anything I can do? Not right now. So I'm gonna flip over another card. And I have a black queen. Again, there's nothing I can do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep flipping my cards until I can either place it down on my layout here, or I can start one of my 4 piles up here. So why don't we go ahead and speed this up a little bit and move our game forward. So as you can see, I just drew an ace from my draw pile. So this is my ace of spades. So what I'm going to do is start a pile up here next to my draw pile. And now, as I draw more spade cards, I can start stacking them in numerical order. So as you can see, I do have a 3 of spades and a 4 of spades out on my layout, but I can't put them on this pile until I find my 2 of spades. So why don't we keep working? So as I was saying earlier, once you have an ace down, you can start building up your pile. So I found my 2 of hearts. So I can go ahead and lay that on top of the ace. If you look at my layout, you'll see that I also have the 3 of hearts over here. So what I can do is take that 3 of hearts and put it on top of the 2. And we'll keep going until I get all the way up to a king. So as you can see, I've gone through my entire draw pile now. What I'm going to do is, since I still can't make a good move, I'm going to take my draw pile and without shuffling, just place it back face down. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through my draw pile again and look at my cards, because my layout has shifted, right, while I've been playing. So there might be some cards that I can use now that I couldn't use before. So let's see what I can find. So, something funny has kind of happened in my game here. If you look at my board, you see that I can't move any stacks on top of another stack in order to turn over a card. And if I flip over my draw pile, I do not have any cards that I can lay down to help me out. So, Solitaire is a game that, even though you're not playing against anyone, you might sometimes not be able to figure it out. And this is not because of anything that you as a player did, but because of shuffling randomly. So it seems like when I shuffled, all the cards that I need right now ended up in these stacks that I can't get to. So I have to fold on the game and call it a loss. But you know what, that's perfectly okay, because this is a game that I can play again and again and just get better at. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up another quick game so that you can see how it looks like in the end. Don't worry, I won't talk you through the whole thing. We'll go pretty quick so you can see how it works out. There's also one last rule I wanted to explain to you that I didn't have a chance to when I was playing this game. This last rule comes into play if you ever completely empty one of your rows of cards. So let's just pretend that I emptied all these cards onto my board and I had an empty space. I can use this empty space, but the only way I can use it is if I put a king here. So I could move this king over into this empty space, or a king from my draw pile. I cannot move any of my other cards that are not kings to fill this space. So that's the final rule I wasn't able to talk to you about when I played this first game. But anyway, let me do a quick second game so you can see how the game wins in the end. I hope you enjoyed learning how to play solitaire today. I know it seems kind of silly that I decided to show you what happened when you do lose the game, but I want you to understand that this is a game that you won't always win, and that's okay. We play this game simply because it's fun, and because it makes our brain think a little bit, and because it's something, as I said, that you can do when you're on your own or just need some alone time. So, even if you run into a couple of games where you don't win, that's totally okay, and I hope you still enjoy playing it. So, I'm sure you're waiting to hear the answer to the joke that I began in the beginning of the video. So, the joke was, why don't pirates like playing card games? What do you think the answer is? It's because someone's always walking across the deck. Get it? Like the deck of a ship or a deck of cards? I know, if there was an award for dad jokes, I would definitely get it. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed learning how to play solitaire today. I enjoyed showing you. I'm really proud of everyone for continuing to learn and grow each and every day. I think it's really special that you're still going out of your way to try new things. I wish each and every one of you all the best, and I'll see you on the next video.